Support for this podcast is brought to you by Market Squawk, powered by livesquawk.co.uk for all of your on-demand data news needs. Any commodity, any asset class, you name it, Live Squawk powers marketsquawk.co.uk and they will sort you right out. Pay as you go, enjoy. Support for this podcast is also brought to you by our boys at xbrain.co.uk. All of your any supplement you could possibly want. Might even try and get Nico involved with them a little bit later. I'm sure he's got deals coming out of his ear holes though. xbrain.co.uk, enter promo code fighting words at checkout to save 30% off your order. We are delighted tonight to be joined by I'm Streets. 22 is our youngest by a big deal. I feel like at any moment potentially we might get raided with Nico Leivars. How you doing, my dude?
I'm good, thank you, pal. Thanks for having me on.
Mate,
pleasure to be here.
Thanks for coming on.
Absolute pleasure. Listen, you got brought to my personal radar about 3 weeks before your debut by my boy Larry, who said that this kid's going to be special. And when Uncle Larry says that, it's not something he throws around lightly. And congratulations on your debut. You can't ask for a better debut than that. The performance, the venue, the event, everything. Run us through it, dude.
It was a bit of a funny one, to be fair, because for me, there's obviously a personal connection, being Lee's friend, being, my mum's family's from Nottingham. So I'm a local lad from Mansfield, which is literally 15-minute up the road. So the card for me, not only a dream debut in terms of the exposure of being on a Matchroom show, we had Eddie Hearn worldwide on Day Zone and everything like that, but everything about it was special to me as well, because little things like the Motorport Arena, the last time I was there, I was 4. My mum and dad took me to see Toy Story on Ice for my birthday. Fast forward 15 or so years, I'm walking into the venue on fight night, looking at the boxing ring as you do, and the cameraman's pointing at my face, and I'm thinking fucking hell. Last time I was here, I was in this stand as a little kid, and now I'm going to be in that ring. And it was things like that with the show that there was a lot of personal and emotional bonuses that it really made it the dream debut in every way possible.
Absolutely, it was a fantastic. Jose Hernandez, he's. How many fights has he had? It's something astonishing, isn't it? It's decent. No one's stopped him. No one's done anything. You battered him.
Handle business.
It was one of them where it was a bit of a slippery banana skin because no one has him on his debut.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to look good against him. You look at his record and lads are taking him 4, 5, 6 fights in, 10 fights in because they need the experience first and they need to get used to the game. So for me to take it on my debut and go, we wanted 6. We couldn't get 6. We had to settle for 4.
Yep.
Which, in hindsight,
why was that?
Did
they just say no? For debut, don't be silly.
I don't really know. I mean, even up to the very last day, we were trying to get it for 6, and their team just weren't having it. Because if you actually watch the weigh-in and everything, they read it as 6 threes.
Yeah.
And I remember jumping on the scales and hearing 6 rounds. I got excited. I think, oh yeah, they agreed to 6. And then I found out after when I went backstage that no, it's still 4. Don't get excited. Fucking hell. But no, it was it was a debut that really threw me in at the deep end, really. But I was confident, my team were confident, and my management team knew what they were doing, and it gave me a good platform to shine.
For sure. You had 90 amateur fights, didn't you? You won a lot as boys, as seniors, the whole lot. You're an absolute standout amateur. We was I can't remember who we was talking to a few weeks ago where it has changed now. If you're a standout amateur with your amount of experience, you don't really need to be doing 4-rounders. You can go into the 6s and the 10s and stuff like that. It's a learning curve. I get it, and it's easy for me to say it as a fan, but I would have thought you'd been very comfortable there.
Yeah, I mean, I was blessed throughout my amateur career to get top quality sparring as well. I was going down Matchroom gym, I was going to Peacock gym. I was going all over the place, for sparring with pros, world champions, Ricky Burns, Joe Cordina, Martin J. Ward, Sonny Edwards. I sparred a lot. Growing up doing that from the age of 14, 15, you know how to look after yourself as well. And not only the amateur side, you know, sparring all over the world and fighting over the world for Italy and GB, you learn a lot of things in the ring that you just know how to handle yourself and you know what to expect. So going in to the pro game, you're already probably at a level where you have got a lot of experience where you don't need the useless 4-rounder fights that maybe other lads would, because, you know, I've got that experience in the amateur game now to take forward. So I don't really want to mess about, and you know, no time to waste, is it? If I've been there and done it already, I don't need to do it again.
No, and you know, as a fighter, you got such a short window to like make an impact, make as much money to support you and your family for the rest of your life. Like, hey, get them going. Especially, what did you do? Like nearly 500 tickets on your debut.
It was a funny one, you know, because through paperwork reasons and whatnot, I got announced on the show late.
Right.
And everyone around my area, obviously, because I'm literally next door to Nottingham, they're going, oh, we bought tickets for Lee Wood. Oh, you're going, Nick, you're going. And I'm sitting there thinking, fucking hell, everyone's buying tickets somewhere else. I need to get announced here.
Yeah.
So I ran my manager. I went, look, mate, 400 people have already bought tickets to this fight. I'm not going to have no one to flog tickets to at this rate. Get me announced. So he announced me, and I ordered my first lot of tickets, and they went within a few days. Then I ran my manager, and I was like, I need more tickets, mate. He's went, you are joking. I'm like, nah, get me more tickets. I think I did ring them about 4 more times after that, getting more tickets and more tickets. And I think I did 500 in the end. But even then, it was nice because obviously my fans came to watch me. But even throughout fight week, I was winning over the Nottingham crowd. And like, I was having people come up to me and saying, oh, mate, you know, I'm following your journey now. It's brilliant to have a local lad do well.
Yeah.
So what started off as my own little gathering, I think turned into a lot more by the end of it, which was nice.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
That's exactly what you want, right? Like you seem very likable. You're a great fighter. Like there's no reason for it. And like, I know Mansfield, I don't know much about Mansfield. This may shock you because, you know, I'm one of them soft southerners. Like, you know what I mean? If it's outside the M25, unless it's Marbella, Essex don't care, you know? Like, I know of it. I've had a good... I Googled...
North of Watford Gap, you don't have a clue.
To be fair, Watford.
Hey.
No, that's where you were. It's fine. But no, like, Mansfield isn't really, like... There's no other fighters from Mansfield, is there?
No, it's always been a thing where, you know, growing up throughout the years, I've always said, like, oh, I'm going to put us on the map.
Yeah.
But I think it is generally going to be the case because you say, oh, I'm a lad from Mansfield, and they don't have a clue.
No.
But, yeah, hopefully in a few years we'll change that.
We know Nottingham. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's becoming a little bit of a hub, isn't it? You got, well, obviously, Froch was the Don. You got yourself, you got Echo. The Preacher, I never remember his whole name, but the Preacher, who's just a funny fucker and a great fighter as well. Echo's boy.
Yeah.
Like, it's up and coming.
Yeah, and I think it was nice because obviously when Frocci was coming up through the ranks and became world champion, we were looking up to him. You know, I remember seeing Frocci as a young lad at Phoenix and talking to him and that and giving him advice and giving me help with my career. It was nice to look up to him, and he really did like give us lads coming through the ranks that little push that you probably need, you know, to have someone who you know to have done it. So then obviously Lee's gone on to do the same, and hopefully all being well by the end of it, go further than Frocci.
Yeah,
so. And me and Echo are actually on about it, saying it'll probably get to the point now where we'll be able to have a whole card of just local lads as a worldwide event.
So, right? Why not? Why not? I mean, I'm like up and coming. Obviously, if Eddie delivers for Lee and does the stadium ground,
exactly.
I can't listen. Let's just put it aside. Nottingham fighters and Nottingham adjacent fighters, should we say? Jump on.
No, definitely. I think, like I said, I think you're seeing it a lot more now in Manchester, Liverpool way, where they're doing it. So I think you'd only follow suit with us.
Yeah. So I would go as far to call you a bit of a blue chip prospect, right? So you're with MTK, and what deal did you do in the end with Matchroom? How many fights?
It was just a one fight thing, really. I got the phone call. I was training, to be fair.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine you haven't had a couple of phone calls since then.
Oh, yeah. But,
yeah.
We'll release it when it's all done, if you know what I mean. It's one of them.
Of course.
But my management team took care of it. MTK did a cracking job. I got the phone call. My manager rang me. He said, look, keep it hush hush, but this fight's happening. I've got you on the card. And this was back in December.
Right.
And then I had the task of trying to keep it quiet. And oh, mate, you know how frustrating it is when you've got everyone hounding you, going, oh, when you're fighting. And you know everything, but you can't say a word.
Yep.
And you just got to be, oh, you'll wait and see. And then the fight gets announced, the location, and people are messaging me going, oh, this will be a cracking fight. Do you want to go? And I'm thinking, I'm fighting on that fight, but I can't tell you yet.
I mean, that's crazy in itself, because like for as a young, like you're key for all of the stuff that maybe a slightly 10-year older fighter won't be that into doing. Like, you got to be all over fucking giving it TikTok dances. You got to be giving it Instagram. You got to be giving it Reels, YouTube, all of the business. You know what I mean? That's what Vitamin J is going to try and get you doing. He's been trying to get us on TikTok since we got him on board. We're like, mate, fuck
I downloaded TikTok the other day, and it's a strange animal, isn't it? I don't know how to explain TikTok, but getting the hang of it.
Put it this way,
I hope.
maybe a slight overshare, but we're all friends here. What was it, week 2, when we had Jake with us for the first time? He went viral on TikTok and vanished for like 2 days straight. Just didn't answer phones, texts, or anything, and then came back and was like, "Guys, sorry, I went viral on TikTok. My phone has just been blowing up." You're like, "Brother, it's been 48 hours. What are you doing?"
It's funny you should say that, because when I got announced with MTK, my phone literally just did not work properly for about 2 days, you know, because the amount of shares. Yeah, like, I put it in my pocket, and it's like having an Oral-B toothbrush in my pocket. It was just vibrating that much. I was actually
people will pay for that, son. I mean,
no, like, I remember it. It was the day before Christmas Eve. I was walking around Tesco with my mum and dad getting the shopping for Christmas, as you do. And I got to the point where I was like, oh, look, I'm going to have to turn off my phone because it's doing me nothing. And it literally was just non-stop going. It was a bit of an eye-opener, because I've never had that before. So, you know, when you see these celebs that, like, have millions of followers, you can only imagine what it's like, you know, with their phone. Yeah. It must be an absolute nightmare. And, you know, just a temptation just to turn it off for a day. I bet they do it. And you can see why.
I remember seeing a video of it, like, not a mega celeb, but like an influencer. So they had like 10 million followers, like a crazy number. Yeah. And they filmed their phone when they put a post up on Instagram. Yeah. And it's just literally just this sea of alerts. And you just see the sea going, and then the battery just goes, and then it just shuts off.
Yeah.
That's where we need you to be. You need to have a special phone just for it.
Yeah, just constantly plugged in, like a burner phone, but just for
that. Tweet some hate at someone. At Echo, at Lee, just under different names, just for bants.
Get up in the morning, do it, then just leave it to fester all day and come back and see the damage I've done.
Leave an emoji, see you tomorrow.
It was. You got to the point where I think you get over a certain amount of followers on Instagram, and it stops giving you every alert of every like.
Yep.
And so I've had people message me on Instagram or comment, and it not even come up. So I've had to like go back and search through my posts, and I'll be like, "Oh, sorry, mate, I didn't realise you'd messaged me a week ago. It never told me."
To be fair, it's probably why you didn't reshare our story about you, but that's fine. I'm not hurt. It is what it is. Like, well loaded. It's all good. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. There's no hurt feelings here.
Make you feel guilty now.
When did you? Because I watched something on you. You said that you started boxing because you were so overweight at the age of 8.
Yeah.
I mean, what? It's rare to see like a drastically overweight 8-year-old. Did you? What was that? Was that just really? Like 8'8"?
You've been to the States?
I have many times. But
you know. Have you watched the movie Up? The little fat kid off.
Yeah.
Up, Ross?
Yeah. How much Up? It makes me sad.
Yeah, well, just picture him and you've got me. Just happy little fat kid. Like, I was happy with it. Do you know what I mean? I weren't
you weren't hung up about it.
No. Well, literally, the day I became, I'm probably a bit fat. I need to lose a bit of weight. Bosh, the boxing happened. Like that was it. The moment I just was sick of being the happy little fat kid.
Yeah. But what was the thing that, like, for an 8-year-old to be like, I'm carrying a bit of timber, I need to shift this a little bit. We got the family holiday coming up. Well, I mean, like, what was the driver there?
Do you know what it was? This is being dead honest with you. This sounds stupid, but this is just the way it was. We was in like, I don't know, you're about year 3, year 4 at school, aren't you?
Okay.
And we was doing maths and we was doing bar charts.
Right.
And you know, where you have to draw the bars and get all your data as a kid. And we was doing the weight of everyone in class. And we literally all had to jump on the scales and weigh ourselves, take it in as a group and draw a bar chart for it. And obviously I got on the scales, and as you can imagine, the number was quite a bit higher than everyone else.
You won the class is what happened there.
You know, so we all did the
Did you get on and give it this? Did you go on and give it that and then give it?
No, I put it on. I got on the scales. There were quite a few laughs. And for the first time, I was like a little bit, I don't like this. And everyone drew the bar chart and it was like at level. And then Nico was like that.
Wow.
And then you start to feel a little bit, you feel a bit down about yourself sort of thing. But you're only 8, so it ain't bad. I'm not getting you fat bastard or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was just a little sniggering. But then I was really bad with it though. I was asthmatic. I was on inhalers, and it was a bit of an eye opener where I couldn't run up the stairs. I had to walk, and I still needed like a 2-minute breather when I got to the top. And
it's a start, isn't it?
Yeah, and you become a little bit more aware at that age. You start to see things a little bit more for what they are. And I probably, I looked at it, I thought, I'm probably a bit overweight. I need to lose it, sort of thing. And because I'd always like watching boxing and fighting in general, I thought it was just a bit of a go-to.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I was, believe it or not, I was fairly active as a little kid. Like I did Brazilian jiu-jitsu for quite a few years. Tried a little bit of kickboxing for a few sessions. So I was always leaning towards the combat side of it. And I was always quick. Even as a fat lad carrying timber, I was quick.
Yeah.
When you've just naturally got it. So even at school sports days and that, like I used to come second and third in the sprints, and people used to be like, God, you can shift for a big lad. That's what I mean. I was like a steam train. Once I got going, I could shift. I just needed
a Bentley GT, one of the like the Ferrari SUV of year 4.
Yeah, but I just needed Kit Kat Chunky to refuel after. Do you know what I mean?
Hey, Andy Ruiz was doing Snickers all the way up to a title, son. Like he's ready.
The difference is he's about 6 foot. I'm 5'7" on a good day, so I probably couldn't get away with it.
So was it your dad just went, I know exactly where to go. Let's go.
No, it was a bit of my dad had boxed as a kid. And the whole family was overweight, to be fair. I was the worst one, but even like my mum and dad needed to lose a bit. So it was a bit of whole family get on the weight loss journey together. And my dad had a friend who, Frankie, actually lives on our street, who knew it. Was like, if you want to get into like boxing, my old coach still does a class on a Sunday at the local boxing club. So I went down on a Sunday morning, little shithole building cabin. It weren't a proper licensed boxing club. It was just a keep fit thing. There was frost on the windows.
Decent.
Floorboards creaking all the way, probably fall over, proper as it is.
Yeah, rustic.
Yeah. And I had my first session there, and I always remember it because I walked in and it was a floor to ceiling. And if you've never seen one before, you probably wouldn't know what it does. I've never seen one, but I've walked into a boxing club. I thought, I'll look good here. I'll punch this ball. Obviously, didn't realise that the ball did that. So I'll whack it as hard as I can. Boom, straight in my nose. Oh, fucking hell, that ain't a good start, is it?
Nah, that's not the best. It's not the best.
That was the start of it, really. Once a week turned into twice a week.
Yeah.
3 times a week, 4 times a week, and before you know it, over the next few years, I've shifted to timber,
Yeah.
and I thought, sod it, I might as well try sparring now. And
So you're a very confident just person. Like, it sounds like you was confident when you were 8. It sounds like you were confident at 10, 11. You're very confident now.
It's like, even at the boxing club, it wasn't, I was the only kid there. Like, everyone else is grown blokes, like proper blokes, you know what I mean? It weren't we're doing it for the good of the sport sort of thing. They was just all coming in to hit hard and lose a bit of weight. Like, it probably weren't, you wouldn't put a kid in that sort of environment, but that's the sort of environment I grew up in. So I think over the years, it's probably maybe a little bit more, you know, people always joke and say, oh, you've got an old head on your shoulders. But I think that's probably why.
Yeah. Okay. So, but like, so obviously you've shown a massive aptitude for it. You're into it and you love it. When did the Team GBs and representing Italy and the studied amateur career, like, how did that come to be?
It's one of their things, isn't it? I think it just happens over time. You know, you win a few titles, you get on the England pathway, you represent England. And obviously, you got to the point where being of dual nationality, because my mum's Italian, I saw it as a great opportunity to, you know, go over there, box, represent Italy.
Yep.
So I got in contact with them, asked them how the procedure worked. So I had to go over there and basically earn that spot. I weren't giving it.
Yep.
So I had to go over there, you know, win fights, prove I was the number one, which was an experience in itself. Because even though I'm half Italian, I didn't actually speak Italian.
Nice.
So you should know.
You know what I mean? Well, you're half Spanish and you don't speak Spanish.
Venezuelan, yeah, don't speak Spanish.
Yeah, exactly. Spanish speaking, my bad.
No, that's it. You know, you go, oh, I'm half Italian. You'll get the odd person that will ask you something in Italian, which will probably be like, oh, do you speak Italian or something? And they'll just go, blah, 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 blah.
Like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
And I look at them like, yeah, sound. Barely speak English on a good day, don't start speaking that lingo to me.
You just have to get super Midlands and just start saying like Viennetta, Cornetto, Bolognese, like, you know, Domino's, bruv. Just got to double down on it at that point.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny because wherever I go in the world, people seem to think I'm one of them. I think, you know, because I've got like dark skin and it's like I went to Turkey once on holiday and it was funny as well. So I've stood outside.
Turkish. I could see you as a young Turkish lad.
Well, so did this poor woman because we stood outside a shop and my dad was inside, like looking for something. And you know, as you do, you get bored. You think, oh, I'm going outside and waiting. It's hot. And this woman comes up with this box and goes, excuse me, how much are the trainers?
Brilliant.
And I just looked at her and went, I don't know, look, I'm from Mansfield, I'm here on holiday. And her face just dropped. She was speaking to me like I was from Mars, and like the embarrassment on her face, she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't realise. It's like, oh, no,
what are the odds though? You know what I mean? Like, you just see the young lad just hanging outside the shop, you're like, hey, he's not blonde hair, blue eyed. Yeah. Roll the dice a little bit.
But the thing is, I've been there a few days as well, so I tanned like proper well. So I did look for one Turk. But she asked me, it was one of them where you're looking over your shoulder thinking, is there a Turkish bloke still behind me? What's she talking to? I was like, oh, he's talking to me. Oh, bless her. But yeah, it's always anywhere I go, I seem to get it, to be fair.
Jeez. Run me through like the obviously aspirations of a world title. Are we talking undisputed? Are we talking I'm happy with one, go up a weight, nick another one? What are we saying? Are you takeover kind of guy?
Oh, Sam. I mean, I don't understand these people.
I am.
Why would you get into it and do all this just to get by? You know what I mean? It's not a.
No, some people are buzzing about a British. Some people are buzzing about an area. You know what I mean? It's nice that you want it all. Yeah, no, it's nice that you want it all.
Yeah, like there's a lot of jobs out there that take a lot less and cause a lot less damage to get by. You know, I could do a 9 to 5 in a factory and get by. But I decided from a young age that I didn't want to just get by.
Who are your inspirations? Who are your go-to? What was your first fight that you remember seeing? Who's the first fighter that you think I want to be like you?
That's a hard one. You get a lot of inspirations over the years, don't you? I mean, like you obvious Muhammad Ali's and people like that. It's your first sort of people you lean to when you watch boxing.
Yeah.
But to me, my first standout one was watching a young Canelo Alvarez.
Nice.
I'm talking young.
Yeah,
when he's fighting Carlos Baldemir and people like that.
Yep.
And no one really knew who he was at the time. But I saw this little Mexican ginger kid who could scrap. He's like, he went pro when he was 15, 16. And, he's freaking scrapping with grown men. And then he goes on to fight Shane Mosley.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, oh my God, this lad's amazing. And then he's gone on to, I've lost count of how many weight divisions he's gone on and won now. He's getting a bit of a joke.
He's chasing down the greatest Mexican of all time, and let's be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think the thing is with Canelo, he's getting better and better. He's grafting and learning. And, you used to get it with Mayweather where he world champion, but he was training like he was broke and like he had nothing.
Yeah.
And you see it with Canelo as well, like no matter how much success he's had and how many big wins he's had, he's still the first one in the gym, grafting and learning.
He puts out the most. Like every time you open up your phone and go on any one of the outlets, he's either whacking a bag, he's sparring, like it just never ends. Even if
also,
he's doing it just
the way
for
he's
cam.
training the other guys, you can tell how much he loves it. Like the way he's discussing with the teammates and like trying to really make everyone better.
He's a proper gym rat.
Yeah.
He's in the gym even when he shouldn't be in the gym, just to be in the gym and be around it. And I think it shows because even all the work he does, you can see the quality in it. He's not just doing something so it looks good on TikTok.
Yeah.
I think there's a big thing nowadays where you'll watch a video of someone or, anyone in particular, and you think, that looks good, but not really working in a real fight, is it?
Yeah.
And I think you've got to know where to draw the line with it all. And I think with Canelo, everything he does is for the boxing. It's not for the outside view. He does it to perfect his boxing. All his training, you can see him drilling things. You can see him improving his technique. He's not just trying to throw 50 punches in 3 seconds or something and get views. So I think that's why the success has come down to him just keeping his head down and working hard.
Number one, nothing would have made me happier as if when I said that and you said my favourite fighter is Jake Paul and you looked immediately at Ian in the corner because he would have died. He would have had to have his leg above his heart and we would have just have waited for a little while. That would have been amazing.
It's fair play to Jake Paul though. Like he's made his money and he's took his opportunities, hasn't he? You can't. Anyone would in that situation.
Yeah. Listen, if JP at Most Valuable Promotions like DMs you and says, "Nico, I want you on my next card," you're gonna go, "Okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah." How many zeros?
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah, sure.
Here's bank details.
Yeah. I expect minimum business class ticket. Thank you very much. See you soon, Jake. You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you?
No, you wouldn't. I mean, anyone who says otherwise is just lying.
Yeah, or they're just a staunch hater. When are you out next? When's fight 2?
I'm hoping for it to be confirmed next week. I'm looking. All I know so far is June, early June.
Okay. That's quite a gap.
It's quite a gap, but at the same time, I'm learning a lot in the gym. Do you know what I mean? It's constructive in the gym. I'm not one of these boxers that disappear when I ain't got a fight coming up. I was straight back to training the week after my fight. Even I went to Dubai for a week. I was still training in Dubai. So even now, like the sparring I'm getting in between fights and my camps, I'm learning just as much from, if not more, than the actual fights.
Yeah.
So to me, the first few years of my career, I'm looking to be active. 5 fights a year.
Yep.
And in between to get good top quality sparring and to be learning and developing. And I think we're on the right track with that. So a good block of sparring in for this next fight, perform well again, and see what the options are after that.
What did you learn the most from the debut? Like, what was the biggest difference? Obviously, under the lights with a massive arena that's absolutely hyped.
I think that was it. I think, everyone always says, "Oh, I'm calm and composed, and it don't affect me." But then you hear David Diamante announcing your name as you're doing your ring walk, and you've got people who you've seen from a little kid either side of the railings as you come out. And all of a sudden it hits you, like it's excitement, like a kid. I weren't nervous, I was excited.
Yeah.
But that in itself can drain you.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course
and it can take you off your game, and you can almost forget why you're here and what you're doing. And especially having a fight week, which I'd never had before, you know, the media, the press conferences, the interviews. I was in a hotel all week, just doing things that normally I wouldn't be doing. I'd just be at home chilling for a fight. So learning to deal with that and cope with all that was a real experience. So it was a big show.
It was a massive show.
You know, like even though I was on the undercard, there was a good 2,000 people in the arena when I was fighting.
It was a massive cut. Like, to be fair for you as well, your pro debut is on. Listen, if that isn't fight of the year, fuck knows what would be.
Yeah.
Like, what would actually have to happen for something to surpass that for fight of the year? Like, you'd actually have to have like another elevator fight, wouldn't you? It's the only thing you could have. You'd have to have like Dillian and Tyson.
So Fury would probably have to come back from the dead again and win, wouldn't he? Like he did against Wilder.
Yeah, it would. What else could it be? Like, but for you, like, to be attached to that and have that massive night in Nottingham as your start and everything, that's amazing.
Yeah, especially with the emotional attachments to me. Like I said, you know, it being in my home city on my mates undercard, like everything about it was just. And then to top it off with Lee doing what he did, I think it will always go down in boxing history. It can't not do, because it was an unbelievable night, and the atmosphere. To be fair to the Irish fans as well, they were brilliant. You know, they were rowdy, they were supportive, but they weren't idiots.
Yeah.
You know, I actually bumped into some lads at Tesco in Nottingham. I went out to get some water and that for the hotel the night before the weigh-in. And I bumped into a group of Irish lads that come over to support Conlan, and got chatting to him and that, and it's like said, "Oh, I'm on the undercard." I was like, "Oh, really? Oh, show your name on Instagram and that. We'll follow you." And that, you know, they had a photo with me. I saw him the next day at the weigh-in. So all the Irish lads were bang on. So I think that made the event as well, because, you know, there was no trouble. There weren't no rowdy riots or, you know, fighting in the crowd or anything like that.
It's good when people know the difference between supporting your guy and like shitting on the other one, you know, just causing problems. It's like, just support your guy.
Make your noise, you know. Try and get in the head of the other fighter and take him off the game and all that. It's part of it. It's like that with the football, you know. You're the 12th man. You've got to raise your voice and do your bit. But there's a line between supporting your boy and just being a knob.
Speaking of, like, you had a decent profile like debut. How much hate have you received? Like, because
call it hate.
Would you knobhead comments, or like, because these are fascinating.
You know what? It's funny, isn't it? Because I love it. I really don't mind it. I've always been one of them people that before you laugh at other people, laugh at yourself. Yeah. So I've always made fun of myself. I've always laughed at myself. So people taking the mick out of me just go straight over my head. I find it. I'll probably laugh along with you. And what made me laugh is some of the comments I was getting, you know, because everything was on YouTube on the live stream. You get your live chat.
Yeah.
And it was nothing bad really about my boxing. And that's what made it funny. It was nothing. They couldn't pick up anything wrong about my boxing. They were just taking swipes at, "Oh, shouldn't he be in maths class? He looks about 12. Or his yellow t-shirt looks minging. It's horrible. It's like, oh, he's got pipe cleaner arms and stuff like that." It's like,
I mean, these are just like what we're doing. You know what I mean? That's low key. I can't wait for you to get like 5-0 in and just start getting proper venom left in the DMs.
Well, that's what I mean. I was reading some of these things and I'm thinking, mate, why have you even wasted the energy to type this up? Like, have you not got a life?
Yeah. It's never like a Nelson Mandela writing hate on a comment. It's some dickhead that lives in a basement with nothing else to do.
Yeah, it's like, mate, why are you so angry that you feel the need to take the mick out of someone's arms? Like, bantamweight, they're obviously midgets. Like, you don't need to put, which one of the dwarfs won? Like...
Are you not tempted just to be like, let's have it, here's the address, let's see what the arms can do, pal?
I tell you what, the only thing you can take mick out of me is be looking like a young kid. Then fair enough, I'm out like a 12-year-old back and scrap.
Ain't bad. To be fair, it's not a bad quality.
Nah,
you
say when you're all 50 looking old, wrinkly and haggard, and I'm there looking like I'm only 20.
I mean, that's all it is.
So Nivea, if you want a sponsor for moisturizer, you know where I am.
You're more of a L'Oreal
Shout
guy,
out.
you know. I've got to put you as a L'Oreal kind of G. Listen, we got to get you ordered. Like, I would like maybe a Nico like line beard, like what are they called, stencil. Maybe the high, like the shaving, the fading stencils as well. Like you could do like a whole vibe. You could do like the Nico Cares kit.
Yeah, so I might need to have a few more years of growing my own first before I start selling kits.
Maybe just go back to Turkey. Get the Chris Jr. going on. That's not a bad
I was
look.
gonna say,
yeah,
Junior's all over that shit.
Nico, mate, it was an absolute pleasure to be with you. Can't wait to see you back out again, and I can't wait to see the announcement next week. Epic.
No, it's exciting times, and thank you both for having me on. It's been a pleasure talking to you both.
Mate, you made me feel terrible about me at your age. Fucking, you're so mature and like taking over the world. Keep it up, my man.
Cheers, thank you.
Guys, at 22, the high point of my life was wearing one white trainer, one black trainer to show I had 2 pairs of these trainers. Gang shit. Right? You're smashing it, right? Don't ever forget that, mate. Have a good one, yeah?
Cheers, lads. Thank you.
Take care,
Thanks, mate.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.